Hello there. Godzilla versus Kong. First of all, I'll just say that's a misnamed movie. Kong versus Godzilla. It should have been Kong's name first because he's actually a main character in this film because they actually follow him the majority of the time. He gets more screen time. He can actually talk. He's relatable. Godzilla is just an animal at this point. So it's misnamed. But this movie actually is more enjoyable than the other Godzilla movies, the Godzilla and Godzilla King of Monsters, God of Monsters, whatever it is. This one is better than them. Not better than Kong Skull Island. Still, Kong Skull Island is the best because it's characters in the film and the monster. This one only because of Kong. The characters, they're terrible. They do bring back the daughter from King of Monsters, and she's actually does have a Big Daddy Mo called them the Breakfast Club, a group of basically random assortment of people. Fire Fist from Deadpool 2, and his name's Barry here from I forget the show. And they basically infiltrate Apex, which, of course, the second it starts, you instantly know Apex is the bad guy. They don't leave that as a surprise or anything. It's right there in your face. They started off with the Barry creating a podcast talking about how Apex is like the worst company. There was a reason why Godzilla attacked them. They're responsible for all this. They're the problem. So it is funny, but at the same time, I wish they would have left something so the fans who know the history would actually be in the know. I hate it when they keep trying to throw it to everyone because sometimes surprises are a good thing. Sometimes it is nice to be the only one in the know, and then everyone else comes to you to ask you, were you aware? Did you know? It's like, well, yeah. And you could have easily done it with the shots. You don't have to just tell us outright. You could have shown it through certain scenes, certain little avenues, certain paperworks that were left strewn about. But yeah, they made it too obvious there. And honestly, I didn't understand why Kong and Godzilla have a rivalry. Apparently, their ancestors fought for some reason, and apparently, Kong's ancestors were able to build massive structures. They built an entire throne room. They built weapons. It's just like, I don't understand this. If that's the case, why are they all dead? And why are humans the apex? If that's the case, and Kong's ancestors were able to build weapons, then they would be the top. They would have destroyed Godzilla's ancestors easily. Because, as you can see in the movie, when the Mecha Godzilla comes out, technology trumps everything else. As long as it functions properly. It will be the best. When it doesn't function properly, that's when it has issues, and that's when it fails. That's all I got from this movie. It's just like, yeah, technology's the top. That will destroy everything. That will be the best. But in any issue, though, you have a virus, it becomes completely kaput, and then Kong and Godzilla can take it out easily. But it is fun to watch just for the fights between Kong and Godzilla, which there aren't many. There's one on the ship, which honestly still doesn't make much sense. The one thing that keeps why it doesn't make much sense is I still don't understand why they needed Kong to go find whatever. They take Kong out of his home, the Skull Island, and they need to find some kind of power source, but apparently they need Kong to find it. I don't understand why. If they have the technology to track high-powered energy sources, and they have the technology to go to the sunken Earth, the hollow Earth, then why do you need Kong? Well, why was he brought along when he's obviously not necessary? There are a ton of little things. Of course, I find this with all movies, or many movies. Not all. Sometimes there are outliers that are actually pretty good and don't have me actually going like, what's wrong here? But it's just like, why? Also, there's just the part where the hollow Earth is a little confusing, both the floor and the sky are both earth, so you can jump from the floor, do a flip, and land on the ceiling and still be on the earth. My issue came just like, where's the light source coming from? I thought the hollow earth would basically be the earth, kind of like a halo ring, where it's around the core. The core provides the light, and everything else is just around. So I was a little confused there. Just like, this doesn't make any sense to me. So there are a ton of little things that didn't make sense. The tools, the fact that the Kong's ancestors all died out to the skull crawlers, which makes no sense. If they were tool-bearing, if they are intelligent enough to create tools and massive structures, then the skull crawlers should have been no problem. Yeah, but the fights themselves are kind of cheaped out because the humans keep aiding Kong over and over and over again, which is something I just didn't care for. In the podcast, when I was talking with Big Daddy Mo, I did say that one of my favorite fights, though, was the mecha. But that's primarily because I was most excited to see the Mecha Godzilla. I didn't grow up watching it. I was sick one day. I turned it on the TV at like 3 in the morning because I couldn't fall asleep, and it was on. Where it was Godzilla versus the Mecha Godzilla. And it's great memories like that which got me excited to see Mecha Godzilla. The problem was, I wish there was more of it. As excited as I am and still love that fight just because it's Mecha Godzilla, the attachment I have to that character, just because of my childhood, I wish there was more. Because it immediately seemed to happen. What I was hoping for the fight was Godzilla and Kong would both be trying to fight the Mecha Godzilla on their own while fighting each other. That would have been cool. Until they realize that the Mecha Godzilla has the upper hand, they focus on Mecha Godzilla, but also only focusing on Mecha Godzilla, not trying to focus on coordinating their attacks with each other. And then as they're still getting beaten by Mecha Godzilla, then they start to coordinate their attacks. That is what I actually hoped to see. That is something I would have loved to see. Because to see Kong and Godzilla constantly having it would show intelligence. It would have shown more intelligence and selfishness because they each wanted to do their own thing. They're reluctant to help one another. But they kept trying to show the fact that they're animals. Yet, how can an animal be benevolent? It just doesn't make sense. There are all these things just like, you're trying to show they have intelligence, but you're not showing they have intelligence. Okay, they're trying to tell you they have intelligence, but they don't show you they have intelligence. That's what I should say. Yeah. So I wish there was more mecha, because the only time Godzilla and Kong work together is when Godzilla shoots his Super Saiyan Ray, his Kamehameha wave, into the axe. And the axe is actually pretty cool. It looks like it's designed from one of Godzilla's ancestors' scales, like embedded in like a giant bone, which I assume is a bone from a Godzilla creature. So there are little things here and there that it's actually pretty cool Easter eggs. It's just like, that's pretty tight. I like that. It seems to show that they were actually at war, that they actually fought, and that was more of a trophy type situation. Yeah, so little things here and there are actually cool, but like I said, you don't need to watch Godzilla. You don't need to watch King of Monsters. All you need to watch are Kong and then Godzilla vs. Kong. Because Kong, the main character, Kong Skull Island, the main character is Kong, and it's really an enjoyable watch. And then it goes to Godzilla vs. Kong, where Kong is really the only relatable and fun character to watch. I don't care for Godzilla. I don't care for the humans. That's why it basically is ranked second. Kong Skull Island is by far the best because the characters are relatable. They're understandable. Kong you love and you feel sad for him too. It's like a whole assortment. You find humor in it too. There's a lot of humor in Kong Skull Island. It seemed to be like someone actually took time and effort. But in Godzilla vs. Kong, you really just have Kong to follow. But the fact that you can actually follow and relate with one of the monsters means that it's actually better than the other two Godzilla movies. So if you want to watch this monster universe, you only have to watch 2 movies. Kong Skull Island, which happens to be in chronological order, the first one, and then Godzilla vs. Kong. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.